We're heading into, obviously, the final episodes of this season. You've had a lot of plot lines that have started to really cross over. We're seeing more and more sort of all the worlds come together. Will that continue, especially with the different threats you have out there of Boss and Vaughn and Blaine?
Yes. So ultimately, all of these different storylines that Rob and Diane have developed and have kind of taken us on these different paths do end up converging in some pretty major ways in the finale. And apparently they've just seen it. I haven't seen it yet, but it's a hit. Everybody's very happy. There is definitely a solid cliffhanger that I'm not sure how is going to be resolved for season 3, but I think people will be quite amazed at some of the crossover and some of the allegiances that end up happening because they have to.
Allegiances of sort of good guys or bad guys or a mixture of both?
It can be a little of both. It can be people, when they really need each other, they're able to look past certain things that have happened before.
Now, Liv, she's learned some stuff about Drake, but she hasn't learned everything about him. And so what is her next move based on what she believes is happening, even though we kind of know that there's more to him than meets the eye?
Liv is definitely in a place right now where she doesn't trust that she knows everything. She's very intelligent. She knows that there are some missing links that she hasn't been informed about. And I think ultimately she can't be with somebody who she doesn't know truly. And with Major last season, she experienced that. And, with his meet cute massacre and everything coming out, that's a huge hurdle to get over in a relationship. So I think that her and Drake, if they're able to reconnect, there's going to be a lot to work through, and secrets can be very damaging.
When we left off with Gilda/Rita, she wasn't in a good place, but a little unclear what the next step is. Might we have a new zombie nemesis for Liv here?
Yeah, well, somebody was asking me if Liv would empathize with Gilda/Rita now that she's a zombie, but I just don't think she's that. Liv's good. She's got a good heart, but that's a big bridge to cross. Gilda and Rita have betrayed her so much, and she's certainly not going to be a friend. I would say that. I think there is an understanding, and as Rose the actress, I like to look at Gilda Rita and say, look at her dad, look where she's from. But she hasn't looked after Liv's best interests, and I'm sure that will come around to sting her.
Any personalities coming up you can tease that we might see in the near future?
We are very excited that in the finale we have Rob Thomas 2.0. Don't tell Rob Thomas 1.0 that we call him that. But the lead singer of Matchbox 20 comes and rocks out with us for the finale. So I don't want to tell you too much about why, because I think it's too fun. But we had a really good time with him, and we hit it off. We all got along great, so we had a good time.
What about characteristics that Liv's going to take on? Is there any fun ones for you?
Yes. So in the next episode that airs, Liv eats the brain of an exotic dancer. And I had a lot of fun with Ali, who plays Peyton, working through some sort of very funny routines. It's a lot of physical comedy. It's a really interesting setup, and she does it ultimately to be Peyton's friend. Peyton really needs some information that the stripper had. So it's a nice kind of loyalty card that she's playing as well.